What's up, guys? Chris over here at Cover 7. Hey, real quickly, last week went 3-1 on the channel, so that was huge. Hopefully, if you guys tailed, you made some money. I know this doesn't sound like much, but I did get 50 likes on a video, which was huge for a small channel like mine. So I want to say thank you to everybody that watched that video. It did very well. I can't stress enough how far that goes as far as the YouTube algorithm and pushes that video out there. So honestly, thank you. And if you could, give this one a thumbs up, guys. And more importantly, I want to hear from you guys. I actually talked to quite a few Alabama fans. They let me know how good Ty Simpson was and how wrong I was, and they were right. So let me know down in the comments, by the way, who's winning this game and what you guys think as far as the spread goes. So Texas Tech favored right now currently at 11.5. At Houston, over under set to 50.5. So let's talk a little Texas Tech football here real quick. And I feel like I got to say this about every Big 12 team ever anymore is like this whole conference is probably the most entertaining and fun conference to watch. Is it the best football? No, it's not. It doesn't have the best players across the board, but it's always a track meet at the end of the year. There's 5 or 6 teams tied, and you just never know who's going to win it, right? Like last year, for example, the 2 teams that played in the Big 12 championship, Arizona State and Iowa State, were picked to finish damn near dead last in the Big 12, end up being the 2 best teams last year. So it's looking kind of that way this year, right? You got Texas Tech, TCU, Arizona State, Iowa State's really good again. Houston is undefeated. I mean, I know nobody's talking about Houston, but they're not a bad football team, and neither is Texas Tech this year. Hit big in the portal this offseason, spent a ton of money. Looks like it is paying off for the Red Raiders. So with that being said, not a lot of data to pull off of Texas Tech. I did watch the Utah game, the last game they played, and beat the shit out of Utah in Utah, by the way, especially in the fourth quarter. Now, that was a sloppy game, a lot of turnovers on both sides. Bren Morton got hurt in that game, and it was unfortunate because he was starting to tear him up a little bit. They brought in Will Hammond, another backup, and this guy lit him up in the fourth quarter as well. And I think the final score was 34-10 or something like that. But they're a good team. Texas Tech, I was wrong. I ended up taking Utah in that game, and boy, I looked like a fool afterwards after Tech just destroyed them in that second half. So with that being said, though, another player you guys got to watch. I'm telling you right now, this kid might be the best receiver in the Big 12. Coy Aiken, dude. This dude is a stud for Tech. He's got 14 catches on the year. He's only got 260 yards, which isn't bad. But the dude's averaging 20 yards a catch. He's a big play waiting to happen, dude. 3 touchdowns on the year. Their tight end is it Terrence Carter Jr., a hell of a tight end. They got Douglas, Williams, Virgil. Texas Tech reminds me a lot of, and I could speak on this as I'm a Husker fan. Growing up watching the Huskers play in the Big 8 and the Big 12, we used to play Tech quite a bit, especially in the 2000s. This is when the Mike Leach era was there. They threw the ball in the air raid 80 times a game. It was crazy. Put up a ton of points. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that. Now, they're not chucking the ball 70 times a game because they can run it as well with Dickey, but goddamn, man, Tech looks a lot like that with just the talent on the outside. I remember the days of Michael Crabtree and stuff, which he was unbelievable, by the way. Tech always had some really good receivers. Looks like the same thing this year, and they're a pretty good team. Defensively, not a ton to base it off of. I will give them this. Tech, back in those days, was kind of soft on defense. Not this year. They beat the shit out of Utah and a Kyle Whittingham team who's probably, outside of Iowa State, probably the 2 most physical teams in the Big 12 the last how many years. Beat the hell out of them, dude. I was very impressed with Tech. So this game will be kind of interesting to see how this one plays out because Houston on the other side, a pretty good team, man. I know everybody wants to shit on Houston. There was some hype this offseason about Houston. I didn't jump on board, didn't follow it really closely. And then I watched them beat Colorado, which is always a good thing for me. I was rooting for Houston, had them in that game, and it was great. They beat them 36-20. And then last week, Oregon State, that was a close, I think was that a Friday night game? I think last week. It was a late game. I caught some of that. That game was a little closer than what I would have thought. But the quarterback here is Connor Weigman. Now, I've watched this kid. I swear this dude's like 38. He has played a ton of football. And he's been at LSU, Texas A&M. He's been at a couple different places. Unfortunately, I know out of high school, if I'm not mistaken, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he like a 5-star? He was like highly, highly touted as a pocket passer. But man, we found out that like he's injury prone and all that, and he transfers to Houston this year, and they're running with him. He runs the ball quite a bit, which is pretty crazy. He's got like 40 carries on the year. He can move around. He looks good. I will say this, like when they got him, I thought, man, Houston might have a chance because I know he can throw the ball if he can stay healthy. and everything's good on that end. And he's looked the part so far this year. Like I said, he kind of ran all over the Colorado defense. He threw some balls that were really nice. I know the guy's got a ton of experience, like I just mentioned, but pretty damn good quarterback. Is it who's the running back? Is it Connors? God, that kid is a stud. I like him a lot. Is it Dean Connors? There we go. 67 carries on the year, 324 yards. He's got 3 touchdowns. Obviously, Weigman on the ground, like I just mentioned, has got over 140 yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns. And then on the outside, I really like this kid, Stephon Jackson. Dude, this kid torched Colorado. He had like 5 catches for like 150 yards. Colorado had zero answer for this dude. How will that fare against a Tech defense? We're going to find out. If you're Tech in this game, if you play that physical brand of football like you did against Utah, they're going to roll here. But I do think Houston, with the experience at quarterback with Weigman, can hang in this one, guys. I truly do. I know it's at home for Houston. If Houston somehow pulls this upset off, this will be one of their bigger wins in a long time. Like I said, I know a lot of people kind of scoff and laugh at Houston like, oh, they're a basketball skew. But this year, not so much, man. And the hype is real, I think, with Houston. This should be a good one. As far as me betting this game goes, and I probably already alluded to it, I took Houston here, and I got this at plus 12.5. So I got a little bit of leeway here versus what I have up on the screen. Now, does this game, I mean, like I said, could Tech end up winning this game by 20? Absolutely. I think they could. But I'm going to roll with Houston. I'm going to take the points here. Like I said, both these teams really haven't played incredibly tough competition yet outside of Tech and what you think of Utah. But I'm going to roll with Houston in the points here. I still think Tech wins this game, but I think it's a little closer than what the spread indicates. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate all the love. If you could give this a thumbs up, like I said, I truly, truly appreciate, and we'll see you next time.